Vincenzo's Gold Crypto Investing this March the 7th, 2025. Daily cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, blockchain technology video that you've come to expect, love, need, and deserve from the number one cryptocurrency insider just north of downtown Detroit in the Vincenzo Compound studio. We're reporting this video live with a current official temperature of 31 degrees. J. Just as you see this head and shoulders topping out reversal pattern that old Vincenzo has diagnosed, sniffed out, and detected for you, we ask you to bell notification and like the channel. As we are rounding this top of the head, we've come down to the midpoint and we had that brief pump. And if you want to continue to get the power of the Vincenzo's trading service here, as we give you the first mover advantage, as we were one of the first ones to point out this potential daily time frame and weekly time frame, head and shoulders, topping out reversal pattern. And we had a initial targeted move with this double top right here that gave us the tea leaves back in late January, what we were in. You go from the top of the head to the bottom to the point of a breakout, and that's what got us just about to our technical target of $78,000 and change. And that's what led us to know there could be a short term rally before we knew anything on last Friday about the manipulated, orchestrated data dump onto a thinly traded, very early morning Sunday with the major markets closed. That there was a technical level to pump, and they manipulated the hype train of the pump and the forcefulness of the pump by strategically placing that data out very early sunrise Sunday morning of last week to get that hyper pump. And that's why we ask you, yes, to become members of Jabroni Killers for an industry cheap and best value of $3.99. And you would have been out ahead of the field, first mover advantage, and known Sunday. And leading into there was going to be a rally. But then after we had the rally, during the rally, when the update came out on Sunday, you would have known not to buy the hype, not to buy the momentum that the rest of the social media insiders and influencers, as well as mainstream, were saying that was the start with the Donald Trump news of the Bitcoin reserve having XRP as Solana along with the Bitcoin, that this was just a manipulated pump and the prices were going to continue to come down. And this daily time frame bearish cross is going to happen where the 50 is going to get below the 100, and then eventually it's going to get below the 200, like so, which would be a golden bearish cross, right? Because the short-term moving average now gets underneath the medium and longer-term moving averages. We told you there would be better buying opportunities. We never, not a financial advisor, we never recommend buying after a quick, ferocious pump because there will always be a better buying opportunity. And 24 hours after this pump ended on Sunday, on Monday, we were all the way down here of greater than a 13.52%, and in fact lower than where the pump started. But this audience, if you're subscribers or members, Brony Killer, super chat to support the channel, you would have had that inside information before the pump even took place, knowing there could be a little bit of a weekend pump, which we were forecasting up to 90,000, but the manipulated news orchestrated and maximized the pump all the way to 95,000, that you were going to come back down, and the next major target was down here at 74,815.48. And then that's where there could be a nice return rally, even as far back up as a hook nose bearish reversal pattern right there. And you would have understood this. You would not have been surprised. Your emotions would have been held in check because you had that additional information and education and understanding on where the state of the market was, and to not buy into the social media influencers, but to buy into the truth, to buy into the super simple and easy way to technically trade this market. And that's why you have this head and shoulders, which we believe after that pump like that, we're eventually coming down to the neckline, which is 58,903 and change, just like we've seen in so many of these other topping out reversal patterns where we have a left shoulder, the head, and we're going to have to come back. Still don't want to buy you. Have to come back to this neckline. And on the neckline bounce, we think there could be a ferocious 26 to potentially 53% pump on a right shoulder, but more likely topping out somewhere around the 75,000. But it would have a massive pumps from suppressed lows in the altcoins. And then I think we're going to eventually trade out all the way down here, maybe towards the end of the year or the new year, at a bear market low of 32,366.05. Does that mean it's going to happen? No. Does that mean it has to happen? Absolutely not. But I believe this is the pattern that we are in, and that would be normal and par for massive bull runs in crypto to then have what's going on with a big correction or a bear market. Just like we're in this head and shoulders topping out reversal pattern, something that old Vincenzo diagnosed and sniffed out, J for you, the Rex row, for you back here when the price, and this is all the data that we had back in early to mid January, we were at an all time high or near it after a 6.5 to 7x rally, and then we drew the pattern. And then you can see what played out since then. And we were the first ones in the field out ahead of the first mover advantage. And nobody started in the influencers, insiders on social media or on mainstream started showing you this pattern till it was right there, right? Mid-February, after the pattern already diagnosed itself out and it revealed itself, and we've maintained and stood pat that this is the pattern that we're in. And this head and shoulders gives you a technical target down there at $1.29. And I do feel later on in this year we will hit that $1.29 down there, and that is your technical target from the top of the head to the neckline, which the neckline is sitting down here at about $2.10 to the point of a breakout, and that's how you get down there. And now we'll make this a little dollar. And that's what also gave us the insight that with this manipulated weekend pump, along with only a 1 day pump in volume, and it was only a 4 hour time frame where most of that volume pumped, and we said that leaves room for caution. We think we're in a head and shoulders topping out reversal pattern. We believe that this was a manipulated and orchestrated data dump on a strategically located and placed time to maximize a technical area where the coin should rebound on an early Sunday morning. And XRP and the FOMOers and the hype train stations started to get on and started rallying the hype and tried to change and influence your emotional mindset after almost a 40% pump in about 4 hours that this was going to new all-time highs all the way up there at $12.30. And we said, nope, not so fast. We're still in this head and shoulders topping out reversal pattern. We're still going to have a bearish cross where the 50 is going to get underneath the 100, and then we're eventually maybe going to have a golden bearish cross. We were forecasting a weekend pump up to 251, but the orchestrated and potentially as high as 280, but the manipulated data dump and a strategically placed time by the criminal gangsters pumped it up to 301. But watch that video from last Sunday. We kept you out ahead of what was going on. We kept you informed and educated and kept you level headed to not buy into an emotional pump, and that there would be better buying opportunities. And indeed, there was better buying opportunities. And we're very happy about that. That's the power of Vincenzo. That's why you need jabroni killers. That's why you must subscribe to the station to stay on top of it and not buy into these hype train stations. We had the bearish cross and amp the golden bearish cross where the short term moving average, you see that the 50 is down there at 0.00568, the 100 day is at 0.00595, and the 100 day moving average is on top now, and that's a golden bearish cross. I still think we could have something like this in yellow, even in a bearish Bitcoin, because this coin's been suppressed and pushed down almost more than any other coin out there at 71%, that it could be due for an after bear market pump to get some of the hype back in. And then I think we still have some heartache and pain before we eventually get up into that 2.5 cent level, unfortunately. But I still think eventually we will get there. It's just going to take some time. I'm going to release this video. I'm going to make a second video with XLM and the altcoins like DIA, low, LCX, DGB, and XDC that'll be released in a couple of hours. Our road to 10,000 subscribers starts with you. Our road to 50 members of Jabroni Killers begins with you on this trip and this education and information in a super simple and easy way. And with that, I say peace and love. Watch out for that next altcoin and XLM video coming out in about an hour.